My name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, from your standpoint, you might not recognize it, but we had a little technical trouble with our sound system. And so, as usually I have a review of what we talked about last time, and I did that without the sound on. So you missed the review, but we have the same model, but we're going to talk about it differently. So refer back to last video, and it'll give you some insight on how we're going to proceed with this video. Now, as usual, I try to come up with a different type of tea, and this tea happens to be a green chai tea. I usually don't associate chai with green tea, but it's quite pleasant. Now, we're going to, last time we talked about manifesting and how we manifest, and basically our limiting thoughts, our self-talk, our affirmations that we use to create the world we have now. So if you want to change it, you have to change your self-talk, your limiting thoughts. And to do that, you have to change your belief system. See, this thing starts to roll around in the same kind of a pattern. So we're going to take some of this off, but we're going to leave some of it. Because this video, we're going to talk, are we living in a simulation? Kind of a hot topic right now with theoretical scientists and philosophers and all kinds of people like that. In our model here, you will notice we have a lot of the same things. We have the outside energy system right here of everything. And I say outside, but it permeates everything. So it's inside of you too. We are embedded in this field of everything. And so I call it the all and or consciousness. So that's what it is, the whole thing, and we're resting in that. So in that system, we absorb information from our senses. These are our little senses right here. It's chaotic as we receive it, and then we filter it through our belief system and create a world on the inside. We create a world on the inside with all the objects that you have. And then you project it onto this outside field, and these objects, these things that you see or create on the inside will match this outside energy system perfectly. And you'll believe, oh, there's an outside world, because look at how they match. And when I touch them, and when I see them, and when I smell them, it matches what I made, of course. Why? Well, you filtered it through your belief system and created this from what's out here, which is energy, and you take those projections, which don't exist out here, and you lay it on top of the energy. Yeah. And you say, oh, that is out here. And that matches your egoic belief system. Because in the egoic world, you are programmed to believe there's an outside universe. So you'll twist your tail long enough to bring this out here and then forget that you projected it, forget that it's you, it's part of you, and say, oh no, it's out here first. No, it wasn't out here first. It's just energy out here first. And then you make your world. Now, are we living in a simulation? So what is a simulation? Okay, a simulation is an imagination. A simulation is imagination of something else. And there are references in the description that talk about what a simulation is. And another one, a simulation, the act or process of pretending. So when you have a simulation, you are pretending you know from the simulation what is going on. And we do this all the time. We have models of planes. When I was a kid, I used to make little paper models of planes, and then I would fly them. But they were models that represented something else. I had electric railroad, and it represented a steam engine. So models represent something else. A simulation is a model that represents something else. So let's take a look at that idea of what a simulation is. It's basically pretending something is there that isn't there. Now I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, so I'm going to have a little tea. And you can begin to think about that. So, we're going to use the same model, but we're going to come up with a simulation. Within this model has always been the simulation. If you look very close, you will recognize that this is what I call the standard model for the illusion. And I have a playlist, and I'll reference it up here. Part 1 and Part 2 of that, although I made them some time ago, are kind of the basic part of it. And then the other ones are just kind of like examples of using it. And this is another example of using it. So what are we talking about? We're doing the same thing. A simulation is a representation of what you believe is out here. It's not out here. It is a simulation of what you believe is out here. So in this case, we're going to take some of this stuff off, just so it makes it a little clearer. You get the idea that your self-talk are actually affirmations. So here's how it works. And I have in the description, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 7 kind of steps. So let me go through them here and see if it begins to make sense to you. Simulation. You're the creator. You are the magnificent, omnipotent computer that is making this simulation. And here's how it starts. Your senses absorb the information from the outside energy system. Second, This chaotic information is taken inside. And your subconscious mind, through your belief system, filters through here. I look at it, if you've ever been to Salvation Army, drop some stuff off, or some other organization that accepts clothes. I'm going to use clothes for to be resold or given to people that need them. So they take this in, you give it to them, and they put them in a big tote, and then somebody from the front end who knows what's needed looks at this tote of donations of clothes and goes through this and picks out what is important that they can sell and help other people. So he goes through here and here's something, good shirt. I can use a good shirt. I can sell that. Here's a good pair of pants. I can use that. Oh wait, it's got a tear in it. Can't use it, throw it away. Here's a pair of shoes. Great. Here's underwear. Oh, got a little stain in it there. We're going to throw it away. And goes through all of this stuff, making a determination. This is important. This isn't important. This I can use. This doesn't mean anything to me. And when the subconscious mind gets through with this chaotic information, you have high-graded, important information unique to you. And then you, with that information, create your world. Now that's what we talked about before, but I want you to look at it differently. This is a creation. This is not what's out here. This is a simulation. You are simulating what you believe is out here. And then you are projecting your simulation onto this infinite series, infinite energy system. And your senses now are interconnected with your objects here. And your senses will keep taking the information in. You'll filter it the same way because it's the same belief system. You'll create the same stuff and you get a closed loop here. And you will believe what you have created inside, which is not the outside. What you created inside is what's outside. You're believing that what you create is what's out here. It's very close to what's called naive realism, but it's so interconnected. By the way, your subconscious mind operates in this process of filtering at around 400 billions of bits of data per second. Your senses are submitting or giving to this filter system information at the rate totally, most of it is visual, total of around 11 million bits of information per second. So your filtering system is doing about 1,000 times bits per second more than's coming to it. It can easily go through their data banks and compare this and select it and create your world in here. Easy. The hard part, your conscious mind. Now here's the sad thing. Your conscious mind operates maximum 100 bits per second. 1 billion times slower than your subconscious mind is processing. But what do you believe? Your conscious mind. Your conscious mind doesn't know anything. It's very small compared to the subconscious, big. But you're only aware of your conscious mind. You have no idea that behind what you think is out here is this whole process. It goes so fast, your conscious mind can't even see it. By the time it looks at it, it's something else. Until you create. Then it's kind of fixed. Because now you have a model. You've created a model based upon your filter system of what you think is out here. This is a simulation. Your world is a simulation. Now, we have all these scientists looking, oh, do we live in a simulation or don't we live in a simulation? They don't take this into account. They think, well, we have to think about this. We have to think, can there be a computer big enough to have a simulation of the universe? Pilgrim, who are you? Pilgrim, who are you? In the beginning was infinite energy. Everything possible is there. It's the all. It's consciousness. Now, in consciousness, or when I was a little kid, had a little sandbox. Everybody should have a sandbox. If you don't have that, you go down to the ocean, and there's a lot of sand on the beach. And you sit there, because that's all there is sand. And you make a little sand castle. What do you make the sand castle out of? Sand. Why? It's all there is. Can't make it out of puppy dogs' tails. All we got sand. So we make our little sand castle out of sand. And now, here we have this infinite energy system of everything. The all. And now we're going to make a world. We're going to make you. What can I make you out of? What is available to make you out of at your basic level, beyond the subatomic particles and the standard model for the subatomic particles? What can we make you out of? How do you come out of consciousness? The fundamental. So who are you? And who are your brothers and sisters? And how do you create your simulation? And how do you project it onto this everything? You are embedded in this everything. What is this created out of? Everything. What are you projecting it on top of? Everything. What is everything? Consciousness. What are you? When you get beyond your belief system and the egoic thought process. Who are you? Who is the creator of the simulation, of the stars, of the galaxies, of the cars, of the television sets, of everything? Who is the creator? You. You can't see it. You can't see it except through your creation. When you are not here, there is no creation. Oh, by the way, I had another video. When you're not looking at the moon, what happens to the moon? When you're not rendering the moon, where's the moon? Oh. Now let's see. Oh, we didn't talk about A Course in Miracles. So let's us do that because it's related to this. Now we're going to talk about he. This is he. This is you. Okay? He always perceives this world as outside himself. You always perceive this world as outside himself, for it is critical for his adjustment. He does not realize that he makes this world, for there is no world outside of him. There is no world outside of him. This is a simulation. This is make-believe of what you think is out here. Now, you say, well, we got all them other people. They see the same thing I do. You have very close simulation here through your belief system when you're raised in the egoic world with the same background, with the same experiences. And we've gone through that in other videos to recognize how closely your world and somebody else's world is when you're raised in the same environment, the same culture, the same religion, the same school system, similar backgrounds. But if you and a bushman from Australia were looking at the same thing, now you got two different worlds. They're not the same at all. Now you are the creator. Why? You're creating in co-creation with consciousness. Why? You come from consciousness. You can't create anything except what's already here, which is consciousness. So now, that's another thing. Scientists, well, then we got to find out if they're conscious or what's conscious and what's not conscious. Do they have consciousness? We're embedded in consciousness. And if you look for consciousness inside, you're going to find consciousness. You're going to say, well, they're conscious because they're complicated. They got a big brain and they think about things. And out of that thinking process comes consciousness. No. They were embedded in consciousness. All they're doing is finding what's already there. And that's what science does anyway. They haven't found anything new. Everything consciousness, everything science has found has already been there. They've just uncovered it and said, oh, look what we found. That leads us in another direction for another time, talking about you can only be here in the present moment, and everything is here. Nothing is missing. Oh, we still have so much to talk about here in the illusion. be good to yourself, and I look forward to seeing you next time we get together for another stimulating subject on the illusion. Sign up.